much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens. Echo Base Network, thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens.
Welcome back to another EBN Cast with Nick and Mexican Iron Man. Oh, there he is. And right on, man, right on time. Talk about right on time. Yeah, I was running late today. Also, I was out eating tacos in honor of Mexican Iron Man's return to the EBN Cast.
I had enchiladas.
Given your workout goals, they better have been fish tacos with like not flour tortillas.
No, they were corn tortillas, steak tacos on corn tortillas, lettuce and cheese, and some lime. So yeah,
I had corn tortillas too, enchiladas.
So yeah, not too shabby, not too shabby. Well, episode 12. Jonas is I can't remember if I got a message from him or not, but I don't think he's going to be here today, is he?
Did you make him mad on the last show? What happened?
No, everything was good.
Well, I'm glad to be back. I've been gone for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
A month.
Yeah, you just got back this week, didn't you?
Yeah, Wednesday night at 11. I'm a little bit sick and under the weather, but I'm here.
He's been in hiding ever since the expose on Taco Tuesday a month ago with his sister.
I've not been in hiding. My sister, I love her, but she needs to keep her mouth shut when she's on the live stream sometimes.
So how was your trip, Mike?
Fucking sucked. I hate California. Look, I know some people watching the show are from California. I don't know how y'all do it. You know, you talk about the weather's great, man. It rained the whole time I was there. Traffic was awful. Gas prices are awful. Everything's expensive. Everybody's stressed out. And you know what? Coming to the South Carolina to California and back again, it is, you know, Loki's talked about it before. It is night and day. It is night and day. You get the right change of space and the right attitude. And I'll tell you, it's amazing. I will never go back to that state. And I can see in my family, old friends, and especially the clients that run businesses, I can see them literally now over the last 3 years, 4 years, pre and post COVID now. I literally look at them and now see them as like lobsters that are just in boiling water, and they're just taking everything that's thrown at them left and right, thinking it's not that bad. Meanwhile, and some of them were so funny. They're like, "Well, Mike, we're surprised you liked in South Carolina." I'm like, "Why? Did you think they were going to string me up on a tree?" Nope. Nope. They treat Mexicans real nice here.
Yeah, it's not. It's the stereotypes of the South are completely false and not accurate at all.
No, I've been from Birmingham to Florida and everywhere in Texas and South Carolina and everywhere in between. I've been treated better by more people in more random situations than I have up. Look, I'm going to go this far. In the last 3 years that I have been in the South, I have been treated better by more random people as I've traveled throughout the South, whether it's driving to Dallas to see Loki for a meetup, Florida, anywhere in the South, Nashville, Birmingham with you, I have been treated nice by more people, more random places, and more times than I have in the prior 20, 30 years of my life in Northern California. Easy.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that, because the first time I went to LA to go visit my buddy, the girlfriend that he had at the time that he was living with, I was like doing stuff with him and like paying for stuff. And she's like, can I like have some of this stuff that he just bought? And he's like, yeah. She's like, so he's just paying for it? Like, she was like weirded out by it, that I was like sharing and stuff. And he was like, yeah, it's like called Southern hospitality, because like most people in California are like complete dickheads.
I mean, I just met a brand new client the other week before I left, and I haven't known him maybe for one client meeting. I came back the second time to pick up his tax docs. He's like, Mike, did they tell you about the fish fry on Saturday? And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, the fish fry. Everybody's getting together. You got to come down. I'm like, well, I asked the secretary on the way out the door. I'm like, who's going to this fish fry? She's like, oh, it's his longest old best time friend. It's all his friends that he's had for 20, 30 years and all of our big vendors. I'm like, well, why'd I get invited? He's like, Mike, come to the fish fry. I got invited to my first fish fry.
Hell yeah. You haven't been to a crawfish boil yet, have you?
No, I've heard of them though.
Oh man, so good with sausage and potatoes and corn. And
we can't eat none of that. We're in training, Nick.
Oh yeah.
It's February 23rd, ladies and gentlemen. In 7 weeks, I'm gonna run Nick ragged on a tactical 2.5.
No,
we're gonna go for on day 1. We're gonna go for 12 to 14 hours, and day 2 we're going for 8 to 10 hours. I'm gonna run ragged.
Yep, I got to make sure I'm in shape, that I'm freaking get my stamina built up. I actually went shooting the other day. Funny thing is, I actually got to take my pistol. My pistol jammed up on me, and there's a round stuck in there. I don't know what happened. I was shooting with the suppressor on it, and it like didn't like that or something. So I probably need to shoot that thing non-suppressed when we go to that.
You know how ridiculous. Okay, well, this is not the show for that. I'll save my comment for another show. All right, let's get on with the show. We got to talk about.
Yep. First topic of the day for me, guys, is something that I know Loki is excited about.
Oh, for God's sake, again? Finally, you've been talking about this every week, 2 shows a week for like 3 months now.
Man. So the reviews of this just came out yesterday. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth Metacritic rating is the series' highest in 23 years. 23 years. This game is going to be absolutely epic. Drops next week. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I just want to go through just a couple quick things here. The review embargo for the game lifted today, which this article came out yesterday. And although it's still very early, the remake sequel is currently the highest rated game in the series since 2000's Final Fantasy IX, which also played. The video game industry's foremost review aggregation site. And then they go into all the other scores that the other games had. And this Benji sales guy on Twitter said, with 114 reviews in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is currently the second highest reviewed final game of all time on Metacritic, only behind Final Fantasy VII-9 back on PS1. It's now the highest scoring Final Fantasy game of the last 23 years. 93. The lowest score it's received from anybody is an 80. The second part of the demo just dropped on PS5 this week. The Junon. Have you played that, Loki? You have? Yeah. So I've not played a whole lot of it. I've only played about 2 hours of the second part of that. But this game drops next week. Like everybody knows, this is my most anticipated piece of entertainment out of anything, movies, shows, games, anything for this entire year. I'm more excited about this than Skeleton Crew, The Acolyte, Bad Batch Season 3, all that stuff.
Did you see the re-release of in theaters for Advent Children Complete?
I was gonna, so it's only on a Wednesday and Thursday. That they released it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's something I wanted to get your thoughts on, because I was working, tied up with work projects. So I was not able to go see it at all. But I heard that there was some stuff before the show.
20 minutes of them talking about the game, talking about development, talking about how they took everything, the original game, the spin-off games, the books, everything they've ever worked on, and have incorporated that into remake, rebirth, and what we are guessing is going to be called Reunion. Mm-hmm. Also, they confirmed that this is not a remake. You can call part 1 remake because it's in the name.
Yeah.
And it's not an alternate universe
with multiple timelines.
It's not an alternate universe. This is a continuation of the original story. Final Fantasy VII Advent Children is incorporated, so it's still canon. All of it is still canon. Go ahead.
The Mexican guy in the back has a question. Hello.
All right, shoot.
Yes. All right. Now, before you two start I have 3 basic questions about this shit. Just 3.
All right.
Number 1. And it's part A and part B. Number 1, from what I understand, there's a ton load of Final Fantasies. There's like Final Fantasy 1 through like 47 or something, right?
16.
1 through 16, plus spin-off games.
Yeah.
All right. So my question number 1 is, why is Final Fantasy 7 such a thing versus any of the other ones? Give me the 30-second answer, not the 4-minute one.
Because when it came out, they sold millions of copies, and that had never happened in the gaming industry before, ever.
All right.
Yeah.
They had never sold I think it was like in 2 weeks they sold like 5 million copies, and nothing like that had ever happened before.
All right. Second question is, I'm a first-person shooter guy, so I don't care about games that aren't first-person shooters. This isn't one of them. What is this exactly? What's the gaming style of this thing? Should I choose to buy it? It's not an RPG, right?
It is an RPG.
Yeah,
it is an RPG.
But it's an action RPG. It's not like a turn-based RPG. I mean, you still got like HP, MP, which is health points, magic points, or power. People call it different things. But you basically are running around. You got different combat skills. Let's see.
Sword combat, gun combat, magic combat, summoning combat. There's all kinds of different kinds of combat you do.
Yeah. And just real quick, since Loki brought this up, I wanted to see what
welcome to everybody who came over from Midnight's Edge. Thompson, everyone over on the redirect. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, Tom.
Hail Tom and Andre for Midnight's Edge.
Third question while you're contemplating whatever you're doing. Third question. Do we have manly men in this game that look like men and they're not beta ass biatches, and do the women look like chicks? That's my third question.
Oh yes. Yeah.
The men look like manly men and the women look like smoking hot chicks. Yes?
Yep.
All right. Maybe I'll buy
Tifa, however you want to pronounce her name, is one of the hottest women ever in gaming. Tifa is
I just want to make sure, I'm not playing where I have to worry about my self-identifying. Do I need to know? Oh, fourth question. Does Mexican Iron Man need to change his pronouns to play this game?
Absolutely not.
All right.
No, absolutely not. And well, while Loki's talking about this, I'm just gonna share this real quick. I'm not gonna share the the audio or anything, but just so you can kind of see some of the characters and some of the gameplay on this. Oh, and speaking of, I don't think I showed you this, Loki. Hang on one second.
Uh-oh.
All right, so our buddy Prince Jazal came to the house the other night. I actually met him in person for the first time,
Nice.
and he actually brought me a gift.
Yep. Is that the carbon fiber one?
No, this one's plastic.
Oh, we got the carbon fiber one. Yeah,
What the hell is
Yeah.
that?
that's a
This
sword.
is Cloud's Buster Sword.
It's bigger than Nick.
Yeah, it's huge.
Jesus.
Like it's sitting on the ground right now.
So the carbon fiber metal one weighs about 35 pounds.
Yeah. This one is very, very light. Very light. But yeah, he actually brought that and gave that to me this week. Super, super nice of him. Absolutely loved that that he got me that. But anyways, back to what you were saying, Loki, about the 20 minutes.
So they gave us about 20 minutes of the developers talking about the game.
Mhm.
There is a shot at American developers
Mhm.
when they said we have endeavored to not let other industries basically mess with what they are doing. They have been very faithful to what the game means to people, to what happens in the game, to characters in the game. I am pretty sure that the Tippistein's still going to happen, but I think we're still going to get to play as her and Zach, because I'm 99% sure now, after watching that intro and then rewatching Advent Children again, they're going to be in the live stream.
Yeah.
So you're going to get to play with Zach and Tippa, but they're going to be in the live stream.
Tifa or Aerith?
Or Aerith
Yeah,
and
okay.
Zach, you're gonna get to play with them, and they're gonna be in the live stream, but they're also gonna be messing with Sephiroth because Sephiroth's in the live stream. There's something that Rufus says in the movie that I never caught before, that I just caught. He says, it doesn't matter if we're in a cycle and we do this over and over and over again, we will fight you. And he's talking to Gadaj, who is going to become the next Sephiroth. So that's almost a hint that this is continuing to happen over and over and over again.
Yeah,
So,
I'm curious to see where they're going. Also, if you guys got a PS5, you can actually buy this game and basically get the first game for like $10, basically.
Well, you get it for free.
Yeah,
because it's $89.99, and you can get the special edition for $89.99. What you're getting is you're getting the special edition of this one, and you're basically getting the integrate for free.
Yeah.
So because you're getting everything in the special edition. Yeah.
Yep.
The digital deluxe edition. So
yep. So I cannot wait for this game. It's getting massive, great reviews. Highest that any Final Fantasy game's gotten in 23 years. It drops next week. I'm gonna disappear off the planet for about 2 weeks once this thing drops, because I will literally be other than doing streams, going to the gym, I will be playing this game. This has been a 4-year wait for all of us fans of this series, of this game, and it's my most anticipated thing this entire year. So I cannot freaking wait. With that said, though, Loki, any other thoughts on this?
We're waiting with bated breath to get our hands on it. All of
Yeah.
us are. So on the 28th, we're gonna light a giant bonfire and go and play Final Fantasy VII and have one heck of a good time.
Yeah. Mike, do you got a PS5?
You're muted.
You're muted.
Yes, I have a PS5.
Okay, so
It's right now. It's downstairs. I love my PS5 so much that see that screen behind me,
right
there.
Yeah.
That's now just connected to the PC that I use on stream and my Xbox. But the PS5, I love it so much. It's now downstairs connected to an 84-inch TV screen.
Oh, sweet. So I put in a request with Square Enix to get a review copy code for the game. So if I get it, I'll send you that code because I already bought the game. And,
So is this something I play by myself or can I play with my buddies?
No,
by yourself.
You play by yourself. It's a story driven. It's like playing a movie. Basically, it's story driven. But it's very action packed. There's tons and tons of stuff to do in here, and also it gives you a recap of what happened in the first game. So if anybody just goes straight into this one and skips playing a remake, it'll basically get you caught up to speed on what's going on with the story, on all the important stuff.
I have. Never mind.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
If anybody wants a nice little remaster of the original, look at a mod setup called Seventh Heaven. There are a million different mod packs you can download for it. If you want like a picture of mine, just DM me on Twitter. I'll show you all the mods I have active on mine, and you can download what you want. You get voice acting. You get the reorchestrated music. You get all new backgrounds, widescreen support, everything you ever wanted in a original Final Fantasy VII remaster. It's all there, and it looks like it was made today. So yeah.
All right. So real quick, with that said, let me hit a couple of these super chats. Graph Web for $2. Cancel Disney Plus. Do the Lord's work. Hail to you, Graph Web, the most consistent man on YouTube. And yes, canceled Disney Plus. Mr. Buttcrack Media, member for 21 months. Thank you for your continued support, brother. Hail Nick and Loki, Mexican Iron Man in the chat. Hail to you, good sir. I didn't do this at the beginning, guys, because we're running late, but as we always say here, there's 4 different ways you can support us here on the channel. EBN memberships, which Coach and I have a member stream this Sunday for all channel members. So stay tuned for that. We haven't pinned in an exact time, but we'll announce it on the community tab here on the channel. And that will be this Sunday. Patreon, where I just got first 3 episodes of Bad Batch up there, and we got Shadows of the Empire audiobook dropping on there as well. Tons and tons of stuff that we cannot post here on YouTube. Our brand new merch store, which is 1,000 times better than Teesprings and way cheaper, where you can get your Graph Web #cancel Disney Plus shirt over there. Then, of course, super chats to be a part of the show. If there's something you guys want to hear our thoughts on or hear us talk about, that's also a good way to kind of be a part of the show, is through super chats. Also, real quick, Blood Guilty Gaming, hail to you, sir, for $2. I got my Graph Web shirt. Hail Blood Guilty Gaming. Yes, a lot of people I know are ordering that #cancel Disney Plus shirt by Graph Web. So when we do our meetup in Nashville, hope to see everybody with the merch shirts on. Debbie Young for $1.99. Hail to Nick, Loki, and Mexican Iron Man. Hail, Debbie Young. Good to see you. Thank you guys for all your continued support. This super chat video right here is for you guys. And they give us Pee Wee Herman bikes.
My bike! I don't think I'll ever forgive him for that.
Oh God, it was so bad. Anyways, Loki, what do you got for us today?
You know what? We were just talking about Square Enix in Japan not letting Western developers influence what they are trying to do with Final Fantasy. Well, we have had some big shakeups over the past couple of weeks. Number one, we got Skull and Bones that just came out. That is a complete and total flop. We found out, we've known that it's been in development hell for 6 years, but now we know that it's because of tax incentives they were getting in Singapore. And now we're finding out that the Justice League Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League game had something very similar attached to it. And it has been drawn out. Me and Mike, we broke that they were coming out with this game when we did the DC Fandom event. We broke because as soon as they came out with it, we started talking about it live as we were watching the trailer for it. That was in 2020. Rockstar comes out with this game, and it is one of the lowest earning releases. WB won't even release how much they've lost. One of the reasons why this is, it's bad. It's really bad. One of the reasons why this has happened is, number one, they get a tax incentive for sitting on this as long as they sat on it. So as long as you're working on it, you're getting a certain level of tax incentive. You're getting tax breaks. You're getting tax cuts. You're getting money back on a product you haven't even come out with yet. That seems to be the norm now. You're going to get money for something you haven't even released yet.
Yeah.
Second is the DEI involved with the studio. This is not the Rocksteady that you knew. This is not the Rocksteady that made Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, not even Arkham Knight, which had a huge amount of problems when it came out. If you look at the studio heads and the people that work there, it's a totally different ballgame now. And everyone wants to insert their own little additives into this game. Oh, wouldn't this be a great idea? Wouldn't that be a great idea? Well, we got to listen to these people because we got to keep up our DEI quotas. The FCC just released confirmation that they have been collecting data on who's white at companies, who's black at companies, who's Hispanic at companies, who's Asian at companies, and LGBTQ plus 09er, fiber, Etsy, whatever, and who works at these companies. You have to have so many of these check marks back to get a loan, to get these tax incentives. Isn't that something? It's not available for everybody. If you don't have this and this and this in your little check mark that the FCC is now publicly posting.
Yeah, the government's basically incentivizing this.
Mike knows a lot more about that than I do. Publicly putting this information out so that when your business goes to get a loan, they say, well, it seems you don't have a lot of diversity here. We're not sure we want to give it to you.
Yeah.
And then a game like this comes out and completely bombs, and not even the tax incentives are enough to save this. We're getting games now that says, oh, made in a world of love without crunch time. What was crunch time? Crunch time was, we need to make this game and it needs to come out on this date. All it was a release date. It was a lot of the corporations like Warner Brothers, these guys right over here, Warner Brothers, that said, we need Arkham Knight and we need it tomorrow. And they said, well, it's not ready yet. And they said, we don't care. Come out with it anyway. Give us what you've got. You've got to release it. And it wasn't ready. And it took over a year of patching and fixes to get it to a point where it could run even semi-stable on PCs that had plenty of power to run it. There were problems with these games, and they didn't care. It wasn't Rocksteady that had the problem. It was Warner Brothers that had the problem. Well, now Warner Brothers say, well, Rocksteady, you have to have so many of these people working for you. You have to have so many of this gender checks. You have to have so many of this sexual orientation. You have to have this. And that's the only way we're going to do business with you. And they come out with this garbage, which is what we've been saying for years. And we're called ists and obes and Yahtzees. The story for this is terrible. And you can tell Sweet Baby Inc. had a lot to do with the story just by how terrible the story is. I was banned from the Steam forums because I brought up the fact that Batman gets shot in the face and killed by Harley Quinn, and someone gets peed on.
I
Yeah.
had not heard that.
They kill Flash. Boomerang pulls his equipment out and takes a leak on the Flash. Now, as much as Mexican Iron Man might think that's funny because he thinks Flash isn't a real superhero. I'm not the kind of person that enjoys seeing my Justice League superheroes get peed on.
Right.
Some idiot at Sweet Baby wants to be funny.
Yeah.
It's so edgy. No. Go ahead.
It's funny that you bring this up because when Chris Gore was leaking his Disney files over there, the people that were talking to him, these were people that were talking about how this isn't just something that's going on in the movie and entertainment industry. This is going on in the video game industry, like we're talking about right now, publishing industry, the music industry. It is literally entertainment wide,
Right.
And the fact that the government is incentivizing all this DEI crap and giving people tax breaks and all that sort of stuff and giving them incentives to make sure that they have all their DEI check boxes checked and stuff. I mean, it's a complete joke. It is a complete joke.
Our good friend Adega Outlaw.
Yeah. I saw he's in the chat earlier.
The reason why it has been extremely difficult to get published, a huge publisher, is they're going by this. If you are male and you're pale, you need not apply.
Yeah. And when we had Robert Meyer Burnett on that one week, he said that he has been hearing that too. Because I asked him, I said, have you heard this term before? And he was like, yeah. And I thought it was a joke the first time I heard it. But yeah, that's been going around for a while. And so, he's even heard this. So, anybody that's in the entertainment industry probably knows a lot of this stuff already. None of this stuff's probably new to them. But it just shows the current state of where we're at in this world, in our modern day entertainment. And it's crap.
You've got it right here where it says Joker is set to appear as a playable character, right? One of the preview scenes for the game you see is Harley's like, Mr. J. And Joker goes, sigh, sweetheart, I don't like fish tacos. Really?
Oh, that looks terrible.
Really? Why doesn't the Joker like girls? I wonder why. How's the Joker alive here if Batman took care of him in Arkham City? Because this is an alternate reality Joker that doesn't like women. Who would have ever saw that coming?
Mike, thoughts on all this?
Dude, F this company, let it burn. Let this game burn. You know what? When this is the Loki knows I've been playing Arkham games freaking forever. And when this game was first announced, I was somewhat excited. I thought the storyline might take a twist of where they're going to go and try to kill the Justice League, and then the Justice League would turn the tables on them, that kind of thing, which would be what we would expect from, guess what? A superhero property.
Yeah.
Hello? Since when did we start rooting for the bad guys to win? Yeah. Hello? Hey, come on. Batman killed by Harley Quinn. Oh, come on. Get out of here with that junk. I'm glad this company is going to fail and fail large. This is exactly what we need. Get woke, go broke, and I hope they learn a sweet lesson from that Sweet Baby Inc. company that they hired to provide technical expertise or whatever the hell it was that they thought they were doing.
Yeah. It also shows there's a cushion. Okay,
what does that mean?
Guys, one of the things that a lot of people aren't talking about, that Mike has talked about this. I haven't seen Valiant talk about it, but I'm sure he will. They're getting all of these tax breaks and all of these loans with almost no interest payment loans for stuff that's failing. So it's not as bad. They may break even, if you could call that breaking even, but they want it just for the tax incentives. They didn't kill. Ubisoft didn't kill Skull and Bones simply because of the tax breaks and tax credits they were getting from Singapore just for making it. They held on to it as long as they could in development hell just to keep the tax breaks and the tax incentives each year, knowing that the game was
I believe
shit,
that.
knowing that they pulled module after module out of it. What is a module, Loki? A module is, oh, we can go and play in this mode. Oh, I can team up with Mike and go against another team. Oh, we can go do PvP. They pulled all that out of the game because they didn't want to work on it. They just wanted to sit on it. That's all they wanted to do was sit on the property and said, oh no, we're working hard, situation normal, just so they could keep the tax breaks and the tax credits because their game sucked.
Wow, so
That's
they're pretty much
insane.
milking it. They're milking it.
That's what Disney's doing because Disney's doing it. Disney's getting credit for every single crappy Marvel movie that comes out. They're getting money back. So when you look at if it costs $300 million and then another $300 million, that's $600 million, add another $150 million, that's $750 million they have to make. No, they don't. They probably only have to make like $450 because they've gotten all these tax breaks and incentives and credits for making the stupid thing in the first place from the government. So what does that mean? You're paying for it anyway. It's coming out of your tax dollars.
I was just getting ready to say that. We are actually paying for this crap.
You're paying for it anyway, whether you like it or not.
It's similar to the situation of you're also paying for this crap when all of you who have 401ks, 401ks, 503b, all kinds of retirement vehicles, IRAs, all of that stuff, and it's sitting in a retirement account at Fidelity, Charles Schwab, yada, 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 yada. And companies like Fidelity, Vanguard, BlackRock, and others are using your money in order to push woke crap. They're using your money, your hard-earned savings, to push their woke agenda. It is literally no different than being in the Middle Ages, and all of us are really just tenant farmers on their land. But it's really our land. But they've convinced us that it's their land.
I've been looking at this for 2 years. 2 years I've been looking at this. And then first time I brought it up to Mike, he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. You're gonna have to explain this to me, this whole thing. I'm like, they're getting tax credit and they're getting tax money for stuff they haven't even made yet. That hasn't even been released yet. So that bottom line dollar figure we're all looking at going, they didn't make this money back. They may have because you paid for it.
Yeah.
You paid for it, whether you went to the theater or not. You still paid for it. Video games too. Yeah, it's everywhere. Books, video games, movies. It's all there. It's like they're betting on the future of something being okay and wanting to get their investment money back in taxes.
Yeah, and we talked about this, when we were talking about the Chris Gore leaks on the D Plus series, or the Disney Plus files that he was dropping. Well, they were saying the exact same thing, that they're getting all these incentives and tax breaks and crap from the government to meet these certain standards, and we're at the end of the day paying for all that crap.
And Japan's going against that right now. That's why they're getting help from developers. They're getting help from Western developers because they're going, you know what? We won't use your system and we won't use your money to bank on it. That almost bankrupted Square Enix. That took out a whole division of Square Enix. They went along with that and they came out with one of the biggest flops in gaming history. And they said, we're not going to do that again. We're going to make it in-house in Japan and we'll have our guys work on it and they'll decide what's going to be in the game. Yep. They've learned their lesson. They're not going to do this crap again.
Yep. In Yellow Flash, funny that you mentioned that because Yellow Flash just a couple weeks ago did a video on that very topic with talking about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth in Square and how Japan is not buying into this woke garbage crap. All what is the Japan comic books? I'm drawing a brain fart.
Anime, manga and anime.
Yeah. All that stuff there's none of that woke garbage in any of that. I mean, hell, what was one of the best shows that came out of all of 2023 last year? One Piece. One Piece, which was very diverse characters across the board, and it had no woke garbage crap in it
That's
at
right.
all. But yeah, Square specifically was like, no, we're not doing that. And you know, people that know for example, know that the head of Sony over in Japan is a lot different than Sony in America, who's kind of underneath of the larger Sony company, you know, who are doing a lot of the movies and the entertainment over here in the United States. They're kind of doing their own thing. If I was the head of Sony, I would be freaking I would be all over the asses of the CEOs of Sony America and Sony Entertainment doing all the movies and crap over here, because a lot of the video games and stuff don't have any of that crap in it. But a lot of the movies and TV shows and stuff that they do, but that's because it's all stuff that's, you know, based out of the US here.
No, they would have to kick out the chair in California. They would
Yeah.
have to kick him out and get rid of him. I don't think they're going to do that.
Probably not. 'Cause
Sony
he's probably got a
America.
contract, and you know, the higher ups are probably just. But the thing is, if they're like this Madam Web thing that just dropped, what a freaking joke that's been. I mean, who's going and seeing that? Our good friend Derek Anderson, the DA, who Mexican Iron Man had the pleasure of hanging out with out in California, by the way, went to go see it, and I think he was the only one in the theater.
Dude, do you know Advent Children?
Theater.
When we got our tickets for Advent Children, there was one showing. It was at 7:00.
Yeah.
When we showed up, we found out they sold out another theater at 6:30. Ours was sold out, and there was another showing at 7:30. So 3 showings for a movie from 2009.
Yeah.
And all 3 of them were sold out.
Yeah. Yep. And I did not get to go see that because I really want to, because I knew that they were having a thing, like a 15-20 minute introduction, interview conversation, before the movie kicked off. And,
that was worth it. I will say that the movie looked like it was in 1080p. The movie
really?
didn't look as good as my 4K version.
Wow.
Got.
See,
you're talking about a movie from 2009 too.
Yeah. I got the 4K version. I ordered it, and I got my 4K Conan box set this week, which I watched, and it looks awesome. Both of those movies, in the posters that come with it, the book that comes with it. If you guys have not got the Conan 4K box set, highly recommend getting that. But yeah, any final thoughts on all this stuff, Mike, Loki?
No, that's it.
All right. Mike's got a topic that he's going to hit on next, but real quick, let me hit a couple of these chats. Hail, Daryl, the derelict. Good to see you, buddy. Member for 30 months. Thank you for your continued support. Howdy do, buckaroos, and greetings, program. Hope everyone has a great weekend. You too. And hail, Daryl, the derelict. If you guys aren't subbed to Daryl, go over and check him out. Liam Lionheart Horror Reviews, member for 10 months. Hail to you, good sir. Always be angry. When it comes to crap like this, what we've been talking about, 100%. But when we talk about stuff like Final Fantasy VII, man, nothing but positive stuff there, you know. Graph Web for $2. Rocksteady gone from great to horrible. Familiar? Yeah. Who was the other company that did the Uncharted series?
Naughty Dog.
Yeah. Naughty Dog was top tier. And as soon as that Last of Us 2 came out, man, it has been going down the crapper. So I don't know. The God of War series, that's Sony Interactive, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So they're probably going to be fine. But Rocksteady, Naughty Dog, man, they're going the way of the dodo, I think. You know, it's sad to see because they have done some great stuff in the past.
Imagine being set up like that, where a company goes, you know what, we're going to help you. We're going to give you blah, blah, blah. We're going to do this for you. And then you epically fail. And that same company's there going, we're going to buy you now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
I wonder what happened.
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. And everybody else is in chat, which we all probably pretty much know the answer to. Blood Guilty Gaming for $5. Imagine Final Fantasy VII online multiplayer. That's breaking records. God, how would they do that?
See, as a non-Final Fantasy guy, I would be excited. Like, if you had told me that it's online multiplayer, I would be like, let's go. Like right now, I'd be like, let's go. I'm downloading it now. Send me the code. I'm gonna flip around. I'm gonna either log onto that computer and install it there, or I'm gonna go downstairs and I'm like, let's go.
No, you know
They
what
did
would
that
be
with Mass Effect 3, and they never thought that would be possible. They did
Yeah.
that with Mass Effect 3, and it worked. It worked really good.
You know what would be cool? Is if through the game you could go through the game cooperatively. So you pick your character, like say, all right, I want to be Cloud, and Loki's like, all right, I'm gonna be Tifa. Mike's like, all right, I'm gonna be Red 13. You know, Prince Jazal comes in and is like, I'm gonna be
Barrett.
Kate Sith or Aerith or whoever, and we all control our own characters, you know. But we all have to basically stay. We wouldn't be able to like run off far from the group. We'd have to like, pretty much stick together. So when fights and stuff break out, there'd have to be a way to go about doing it that way. But that would be freaking awesome. Everybody controlled their own character. You don't got to switch between characters. That could be fun multiplayer type experience. That's like, co-op. But multiplayer, I don't know how you do that.
They did that with Origin. I started playing that again just the other day. Yeah, Strangers of Paradise.
Like, do you just fight a bunch of other people and you, like, use your magic and abilities?
No. So instead of being able to just like walk around the world, everything's an instance. So if you want to play with somebody else, you can like hook up to the terminal and you'll be like, okay, I want to invite Nick to play. You can be one of the characters in the group, right? And we go around and we do all our stuff. It's kind of like Elden Ring, but multiplayer. But it's not as hard. It's not nearly as hard as Elden Ring. So basically, as you update your classes, and you go from like, I'm just a standard warrior to eventually becoming a dragoon knight or a dark knight or a wizard or a thief or whatever it is, whatever class you have to build up to that, and you have to earn that. But you can play with up to 3 people at the same time.
Interesting.
And everything's instanced. So it's not like, we're running around the world and we're going from this town to this town. You just jump in the game and play the level. And then when you're done, you can go and play another level and another level and another level and so on and so forth.
Oh, okay. Sweet. Yeah, I'd not heard that before, that they had done that. Butter Biscuit 92 held you good sir for $5. We keep talking about tacos. We need a Mexican Iron Man rabbit chicken tacos lawn care services commercial.
Sadly, that commercial, Butter Biscuit 92, Mexican Iron Man endorses that commercial. That is on the WDW Pro channel. When Jonas returns, I'll ask him for a copy of it, because Echo Base Network should be able to broadcast the Mexican Iron Man lawn care services and rabbit chicken, because frankly, it was when I went to go visit Nick in Birmingham that I went to the movies, and that's when I went to go see Shang-Chi, right, Nick? Wasn't that it? I was driving through there.
Yep.
It was after, I can't remember where it was. I think it was after the New Orleans drop. Anyway, I went to go see Shang-Chi, and I walked out of that theater pissed off. I walked out of Shang-Chi in the middle of the movie when I'm like, there is no way I'm going to sit through one more minute of the stupid movie with a stupid Chinese rabbit chicken that is blind and is somehow leading everybody to the mystical forest where the story's going to resolve itself. Go F yourself, Disney. Go F yourself. And since then, I named that guy a rabbit chicken. So if anyone should have the rabbit chicken commercial, it should be Echo Base Network, since And why did I go to that by myself? How come you and I weren't meeting? Like, what happened on that?
So my parents were here.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that same time.
That's
So I went and met you for lunch. We went out to
That's
eat
right.
and hung out. I brought you your guns.
Yep. That's right.
And then yeah, then I went back.
But
to
we
hang out with the
want
folks.
to please the people here. There's almost 70 of y'all watching. Butter Biscuit 92. We will have that by next Friday. Or my name isn't Mexican Iron Man. Thank you.
Mike, if you hated that, don't watch the second season of Halo. Do not watch dude.
Is it as bad?
The Battle
as
of Reach is happening. The Spartans can't kill anybody, but here comes a black, albino, blind, homosexual Spartan with a grenade launcher without his armor that starts killing the elites.
Get up.
I'm not. No, why I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Out of here.
Episode 3 or it's episode 4, whatever one just came
out.
Chat,
if you believe Loki, give me a 1. If you believe Mexican Iron Man, give me a 0.
I'll prove it. How about I prove it? I'll prove it right now. Only take me out. I'll prove it.
Loki's got receipts.
I've got receipts.
He's got clips.
What?
Loki said he's got receipts. He's got clips. Butter Biscuit 92. Thank you for the super chat. We will get that over here on EBN. We can start sharing that. Chris Persia, hail to you for $5 Canadian. Japan is smart not to accept woke ideology. And oh my God, is that the world famous YouTuber Mexican Iron Man? Yes. Yes, it is.
What did that guy say? Chris Persia, you obviously are in need for social media re-education. You are living and you are being ignorant. Half of your super chat is warmly accepted. The other half is blissfully ignorant. So you are in need of re-education. We are going to send you to the Mexican Iron Man Rabbit Chicken Camp, where you will be re-educated properly in the proper thinking. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, what Mike said. But thank you for that, Chris. To GraphWeb, Mr. Buttcrack Media, Blood Guilty Gaming, Debbie Young, Daryl the Derelict, Liam Lionheart, Blood Guilty Gaming, Butter Biscuit 92, and Chris Persia. This super chat video is for you guys.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to add, he's also an emotional support Spartan.
Oh, wow. Seriously.
Yes.
Let me know when
I'm
you're
not
ready
kidding.
to share it, Loki.
I'm ready.
Oh, you ready?
I'm ready. This is the guy right here, Mikey.
Right,
this is the guy right here. He's in white.
Let it rip. Let's go.
He's the one. Well, I can't play it. You'll get copyrighted.
Oh, yeah. So
just watch episode 4 of Halo Season 2. This is Reach. They're on Reach. They're in the battle. That is John. That is the Master Chief standing there.
Why is he not wearing his Spartan outfit?
They're all Spartans. The two in the middle are lubbers.
What?
The two in the middle are lubbers. They are no longer Spartans. They're former Spartans. The one with the cornrows on the right was healed when they put hands on her. They laid hands on her to heal her. They are lubbers. The bald one in the middle is a black, albino, blind, gay Spartan that can touch people and heal. He's also the emotional support specialist that you call when you're a Spartan and you're having a bad day.
Wow.
Paramount really hit it out of the park on this one, guys.
Yeah, I wonder why their stock sucks.
Yeah. I think they have to have the lowest stock out of any studio in Hollywood, don't they?
Oh, it's bad.
I mean, out of the major main ones, anyways.
Oh yeah, it's bad. It can't get much worse at this. I mean, pretty soon, Loki and I could do a GoFundMe and buy Paramount. Like it's getting to that level. Like we are almost there.
We should literally start a GoFundMe for that. Like, let's all get together and buy Paramount. It probably wouldn't take much, that's for sure. Anyways, Mike, what topic do you got?
I've got some good
on today.
I got 3 fast pieces of Disney to throw out.
Oh, let's hit them.
Let's hit them. Hold on, here we go. Sorry about my God, I'm still getting over this flu. It just won't die. Well, in Disney story number 1 this week, we have Fubo TV files an antitrust lawsuit to block Disney, Fox, Warner from developing their sports streaming deal and closing it. Woohoo! On February
I heard about this
week, not just 3 days ago, sports-focused streaming service Fubo TV, which, by the way, has really taken off in the last few years. I mean, I cannot tell you how many people I know that are watching sports on Fubo TV. All my clients, family, relatives, like this thing is just taken off. Anyways, let's get to the news. 3 days ago, so this happened Tuesday, it's filed an antitrust lawsuit against the Walt Disney Company and Fox and Warner Brothers Discovery over a planned sports streaming platform by the companies. Fubo said on Tuesday, the launch of the joint venture, quote, will destroy competition and inflate prices for consumers, Fubo said in its statement. Warner Brothers Discovery, Fox, as well as ESPN, which is part of the Disney Sports division, declined to comment when contacted by the Reuters news service. Early in February, Fox Corp, Disney's ESPN, and Warner Brothers Discovery had disclosed plans to launch a sports streaming service later this autumn to capture younger viewers who are not tuned in to television.
Yep.
The joint venture also aimed at creating a new service combining the media company's broad portfolio of professional and collegiate sports rights, which span the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, FIFA World Cup, and college competitions. The service, which is yet to be named because those morons, footnote, because those morons don't know what the F they're doing, is expected to offer an all-in-one programming package that would include television channels such as ESPN, TNT, FS1, as well as streamed sports content. So, what say you guys about that before I go on to stories number 2 and 3?
So, real quick, Fubo TV.
I forgot to mention it's a $1.5 billion lawsuit.
Wow. So they have a great service. So I remember when I would travel to to the VahalaCon and to Nashville and for the meetups, all the YouTube stuff, I literally would get this. They will give you 1 week free trial to this service, and I would get NFL Red Zone, and I would get the standard package with NFL Red Zone, with the sports package. So I'd get ESPN, all that, and I literally could watch all that stuff in the car as I was traveling. And if after the 1 week, of course, I'd cancel because I didn't want to pay for it, but it wasn't that expensive. But I'm already paying for service and stuff here at the house. I wasn't going to keep paying for one just for my phone, but it is a great service. I also, like Mike said, I know a lot of people that are using it. Between that, I think between that and YouTube TV, I mean, those are the best ones out there as far as live streaming cable services go. In my opinion, they're the only 2 I've ever used, and I've tried a couple other, but those 2 are definitely by far the best. So I hope they win this lawsuit. But we'll see what happens.
I agree. Let Fubo keep their don't mess with them. Why do they want to mess with them? Oh, because they want their cut. Yeah. These are the gangsters. These are the gangsters of 2010 and 2020. These are your gangsters today, or corporations that want to come in and take everything you have and take it away from you.
Yeah, it's like if you guys remember RoboCop, it's like OCP. All these corporations are like OCP in RoboCop. Like literally. All right, Mike.
But wait, there's more.
Oh no.
Disney faces yet more legal trouble. This suit filed just yesterday. Disney faces more legal trouble as the General Hospital vaccine mandate discrimination lawsuit is ordered to go to trial. And adding to Disney's ever-growing slate of legal troubles, as reported by Bounding Into Comics, our good friends, a Los Angeles judge has ordered that a discrimination and wrongful termination lawsuit filed against their broadcast television network, ABC, and more specifically, its informants of its COVID. That's what I call it, because I'm from the South. We call it the COVID.
I call it the convid.
COVID mandates by 2 former General Hospital crew. Oh, wait, I got to turn off my accent. Beep. General Hospital crew members must officially go to trial. So Disney had filed they were sued, and then they filed a motion to dismiss. And the judge says, no, you're going to trial. First filed in June of 2022 by the father-son duo of James and Timothy Wall. The lawsuit alleges that after working on the long-running soap opera for 14 years and 10 years respectively, the pair were unceremoniously fired in 2021 after refusing to comply with the network's aforementioned mandate based on their religious beliefs. Plaintiffs requested a religious exemption to the COVID vaccine mandate, reads the original complaint. Although ABC said it would grant exemptions for sincerely held religious objections, it refused to accept their request. So what say you boys about this news?
They denied it.
The freaking U.S. military, all the military people that got kicked out of the military should do the same thing and sue the U.S. government, because there's a lot of military people that they wouldn't allow to do religious exemption. Now the company I work for, which is run by the state, I put in religious exemption form, and thank God they accepted it, because I wasn't getting that crap. By no means, no how, no way. But there's a lot of people out there that got basically forced and bullied into taking something and injecting something into their body that wasn't tested in the long term. Nobody had any clue what the long-term side effects were or anything, and they had questions and concerns, and that's perfectly normal. Now if you wanted to be a cowboy and just be like, yeah, stick me with it, I don't care, I trust you, I trust the government, then hey, I hope it works out. But a lot of people question that stuff, so I hope they win this lawsuit. I hope every single person in this entire country that lost their job, or lost their any kind of work stuff, go file lawsuits and get their due justice, because we're supposed to live in a free country here. It's supposed to be a free country, and they should not have they shouldn't be forcing this kind of stuff onto people. So yeah, I hope they win this lawsuit.
They're still Disney. They are still keeping track, by the way. So yeah. I was asked, I went in the hospital when I still was in Branson in the emergency room. They asked me if I'd had my shot. I lied. I said yes. Oh yeah, I got it.
And all 10 boosters.
right after I moved back to Texas, I had an emergency room visit where I needed antibiotics. First thing they asked me, have you updated your vaccine? We see you haven't taken one since it was like 2 years before when I told them that. And I was like, okay, they're keeping track of that. They still are keeping track of that, because as I was at the pharmacy the other day getting my medicine, I was asked again if I'd gotten an update on my vaccines. And they said, we see you haven't taken your booster for you haven't had your COVID shot this year since blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh no, I got it.
I'd be like, okay. I don't know why it's showing that. I already got that.
I got it.
Maybe it's I would say maybe it's misspelled, because it's spelled COVID, because it's the COVID.
Yeah, that's probably it.
COVID.
So they are still keeping track of who's getting them and when they're getting them.
Yeah. Yep.
And finally, I thought this was humorous, because this just happened yesterday as well in the afternoon, which is that DeSantis went to Disney. And he calls the takeover of the Disney. ABC News headline is so ridiculous. DeSantis calls the takeover of Disney government a success despite worker exodus and litigation. Almost a year after Florida lawmakers passed a law giving Florida's governor control over Walt Disney World's governing district, Governor Ron DeSantis is calling the takeover a success. There's so many things wrong with this.
They don't have their own government.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Disney doesn't have its own government.
But this is how Disney's ABC News, which is owned by Disney, this is how they're spending it. But let's take a victory lap on this. Here we go, real quick. DeSantis made a victory lap of sorts during a news conference at Disney World, touting a first-round victory in litigation with Disney over who controls the district, which had been led by Disney supporters for more than 5 decades until the takeover last year. They call it a takeover. The governor also said the takeover of the district with his appointees had created more transparency and accountability, reduced the tax burden for Disney and outside shops and restaurants at the theme park, and made the awarding of contracts by the district more competitive. That is a win, not just for people in this region, but the state of Florida, DeSantis said. DeSantis' visit to Disney World came 3 weeks after a federal judge in Tallahassee dismissed Disney's free speech lawsuit against the governor and his appointees to the board governing district. Disney is appealing the ruling. That bullshit. They have not filed any appeal yet. That's a lie.
That
Anyway,
appeal won't ever go through anyways.
That's correct. So who wants to take a victory lap? What say you, Loki and Nick?
Disney just keeps getting it stuck to them. Between the lawsuits, this whole thing with DeSantis and Reedy Creek, the constant flops at the box office, the falling stock. I mean, good Lord. I'm waiting for crap, what's his name? Who owns Twitter now?
Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musk. Elon Musk and Nelson Peltz to pretty much do a hostile takeover or do something to get the current board and Iger out of there, because Disney is a shell of its former self. They're in complete shambles. And that whole the infrastructure of the corporate idiots over there needs to be freaking burned to the ground and rebuilt with people that actually know what they're doing, with good family, moral judgment, making content for people. Not any of this woke ideological crap that we keep getting. And it's across the board for everything. ESPN, ABC, the movies, the TV shows, the books, everything the company is involved in is trash and garbage. Parents literally have to vet anything they involve their kids with at Disney. And when, I don't know about you guys, but when I was growing up, none of my parents had to do any of that. We could watch any Disney stuff anytime we wanted.
Yep.
And it was completely fine.
Irene makes a comment in the chat. I'm just going to bring it up. I know it's not a super chat, but this is something I noticed too. She says when she went to the parks back in 2021, ever since COVID, the parks have really gone downhill, in my opinion. I have to echo that. I've been twice.
Yep.
I've been there twice, and they're tired, and they just don't feel magical.
Yeah. Even the shill John Campea himself canceled his yearly season pass of
Why?
Disney. Because the price hikes, all the price hikes in the park for the season passes.
Yeah, and it's not inexpensive. And to be honest, if you do the park, if you don't lightning lane everything, it's a pretty miserable experience.
Yeah.
Well, they've got to make up for everything they're losing everywhere else. I'm going to tell you guys something. It's going to take an Enron level event to get rid of Disney. What's an Enron level event, Loki? This guy knows what it is. Up here, we're talking huge financial ruin, business close next day. It's going to take a meteor falling to get rid of this company, because they've got all they have to do is move the cash flow from their park over to something else. Why do you think the parks are going downhill? Why do you think rides break every day? Why do you think dang monorail hadn't been serviced in forever? Because they're taking money away from the parks and they're putting it into other projects because they don't have the money they need to have. The parks are what is bringing in money. And if you stop taking care of the parks, where's your money going? Why isn't it going back into the park? Why aren't you reinvesting in better rides, better techs working on things, stuff that's not going to break down every 5 minutes and just come to a halt? Why? Because they've got to supplement the income of all the other income they're losing and all this other crap.
Yeah. what's the Super Nintendo World?
Nintendo World.
Yeah, Nintendo World that's opening. That's going to take a crap ton of people away from Disney. And then you got what's the one opening up in Oklahoma? American Heartland, or what's that theme park? Oklahoma theme park opening. I think it's called American Heartland Theme Park and Resort. And it's gonna be huge. So a lot of people are gonna be like, screw traveling to Disney where it's like super expensive. You know, when we're right here in the Midwest, we can just go right to Oklahoma, which is a lot shorter of a trip, and the park's better, and all the rides work, and it's not as expensive.
Yep.
So yeah, the parks are gonna start going downhill. I mean, we've had Valiant, WDW Pro, Mike, Coach, who Drunk 3PO, who goes there a lot, who have all been reporting the same thing as far as numbers dropping for the crowds. I mean, everything. It's just another part of Disney that's in shambles of its former self.
Yep.
Sad
And
state.
here we are.
Yep. All right, Mike, was that the last one?
That's it. I'm done.
All right, guys. Well, I want to appreciate my panelists for being here this Friday. Thank you to all of you who have helped support this show. We'll be back next Friday. Hopefully, I will not be as busy next week, and I'll have guests lined up, and Jonas should be here also. Real quick, Irene Jobson with the last minute $5 super chat. Hail to you. So sad to see a once magical place turn sour. I got engaged there and used to go every week with Hubs, and we dated and lived there. Yeah, a lot of people, like I've never been before my entire life. I've never been to Disneyland, Disney World, none of it. You know, but I always wanted to go check it out one day. At this point, I just don't want to give them any of my money. And I just don't have any interest in going. You know, maybe one day when the company's fixed and gets back on track, you know, I'll be more interested in going and checking it out. But I really just don't want to at all.
Astroworld here's a parking lot now. Mars Monkey brings up Astroworld and Waterworld are just sitting there. No, Astroworld's a parking lot now.
Yeah,
they paved over Astroworld and made it a parking lot. That's what they did. Stupidest decision they could have ever made.
Yep. But thank you for that $5 super chat, Irene Jobson. And one other one, my boy, Prince Jayzal, that got me the Cloud Buster sword here in the house. Continue the great work, fellas. All hail. Hail to you, good sir. Everybody go sub to Prince Jayzal. He's definitely going to be a part of the reviews that I want to do. So he was here the other night, Loki, and I was talking to him about when we go through this game, I might want to do like a series here talking about and just doing a quick minimal spoiler reviews of each chapter.
Yeah.
As we go through the game. Like, so once
I'm down with that.
Once all of us are done with chapter 1, we'll get on here and just do a quick 15-minute video, just short, quick takes on our thoughts on that chapter. And we do it for every chapter in the game, which I believe there's 14 chapters total.
Yep.
So yeah, that'll be good. So you guys will see Prince, and he's going to be covering it, and he covers a lot of other game stuff. So if you guys are into that stuff, definitely go sub to him. But thank you guys for that last minute super chat. This video is for you guys.
So Mediator has decided 1 point Valiant Renegade. That is a very, very valid argument.
What you're really saying, Valiant, though,
may the force be with you. For me, to
but that's going to wrap it up, guys. We're going to go ahead and end this show. We will see you guys back here same time, which should be on time next week, right at 2:00 Central Time. Mike, anything you want to say or promote or give a shout out to?
Thanks for having us. I got to go have some cough syrup right now.
Yep. Loki, anything you want to promote? Anything you got coming up?
We got Friday night late show coming up later tonight, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Would love to see you guys there, especially this guy right here. Tell him to get his ass back on the show.
Yeah, I need to. It's just work nights, the end of week stuff. It's hard, but yeah, I'll definitely be back. I'll definitely be back on there for sure. But thank you guys for all your continued support. We'll see you guys next Friday, and until the next one, like we always say here, you are Echo Base Network, and we'll see you guys later.
Coach and Nick from Echo Base Network, thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens.